Shalom, John.
Shalom, Judith.
Welcome back. And this week's parashah is called entitled Terumah. And Terumah means contribution in the Hebrew. The verb is to contribute. And in my 501 verb dictionary, it says that it means to contribute and to set aside an offering for the priest. And it's taken from Exodus, the 25th chapter, 1st verse, to the 27th chapter, 19th verse.
Mm-hmm.
What, you want to say anything?
Well, yeah, I like the name contribute, and it has a very fascinating, something very fascinating happened with these contributions. As we know, God has delivered the children of Israel out of bondage, out of Egypt, as a nation. And as I was reading the lesson and looking at the commentaries, the nation, it was a nation, but it wasn't united. So, in order to unite this nation, God's people, well, what's missing? Well, God's missing. So, in order to unite His people, He sets up the tabernacle where He would be with His people. And I say it's fascinating because it is the time where God is united with His people and they're united with one purpose. And when they're united with that one purpose and they start giving, they give in excess. A giving that has, I doubt if it's been duplicated since. But Moses was a good salesman. He knew how to raise money because he didn't care about money. He cared about doing God's work. Every person gave the same amount of money. The rich gave a half shekel, was it, Judah?
Mm-hmm.
And the poor gave half shekel, which means they all took part in it. There was some, if one person didn't contribute, then technically it was as if they were saying something was missing. So the idea is to show that we are not complete. The poor needed the rich, and the rich needed the poor. They needed each other in this project. This project was a project of unity, and the unity focused around making a place for God in their presence.
Well, I just like to bring in something. As
Okay.
we as believers in Messiah, Jesus or Yeshua, we just want to bring in something from the New Testament of the Brit Hadashah. Yeshua always talked about his body as being the temple of God. And in Matthew chapter 27, verse 51, and this is after Jesus was crucified. In verse 51, and I think he says, he cried out again in a loud voice and yielded up his spirit. And 51 says, and behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from the top to the bottom, and the earth shook, and the rocks were split. Now, in this week's parashah, we'll see that they mention the curtain of the parashah, or the veil, and you can see the significance of the veil. In this week's parashah, the veil separated the Holy of Holies from the rest of the temple. So this is a very significant thing after Jesus' death, that the veil of the temple was rent, I believe, as they said in the King James Version. So it should be very interesting to tie that all in, that the information they're giving us this week is very significant in helping us to understand the New Testament.
Right. Also help us understand how God knows that to unite us, He has to be with us.
Yes.
And He is. And I was thinking also of the time in the of creation where somehow God left Adam and Eve alone, and when He wasn't there, then something bad happened. So, and one other thing I wanted to mention from my reading And that is has to do with the amount of detail that's in the Bible as far as the temple is concerned. More detailed in that than in creation. Creation took 6 days, and I think the Bible may record, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 chapters. But the construction of the temple, well, we've got quite a few lessons. We will talk about the
temple.
the construction of the temple.
Yes. And I believe Yeshua said at one point, he said that this you destroy this temple and I'll raise it up in 3 days. And they thought it meant the actual temple, but he was talking about the temple of his body, that he was going to be resurrected in 3 days. So this should be a really good study and take us deeper into understanding the mind of God.
Okay, and his desire to be with us, to unite us.
Exactly. Anything else?
I hope we see you next week.
We
or
will.
On Shabbat.
On Shabbat, yes, for a more detailed study. And we pray that you have a good week. Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov. Have a good week.